Hello, everybody. Tonight we're going to be going over our second half against Canada at Worlds in the semifinals. I would go over the first half, but it's kind of boring. I think both teams were both feeling each other out, and wasn't the most entertaining dodgeball ever. A lot of long games that took a long time. So we're just going to be reacting to the second half. I'm going to do my best to kind of obviously hindsight, and I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings or anything, but if I see something that maybe our team should have done different, or maybe even Canada's team should have done different, I'm going to hopefully try to point it out so hopefully help people watching, maybe learn a little bit. And I'll obviously try to point out good things that were done as well. And without further ado, let's just get into the match. So this is going to be the start of the second half, like I said. I'm going to try to not cut it up as much as... I'm just going to try to not cut it up as much, just so that way we get the full experience. I'll maybe skip, obviously there was a ton of stopping the match in this game. So actually, you know what, real quick, before we get into it, I guess I'll describe a little bit of the first half. The first half, it was... Canada went up 2-0. They came out real strong. They were hitting. We came out super slow. We just could not. We could get, we were getting people out in the beginning, but we just couldn't close games, and that was a big issue. The first half ended Canada up 3-2, so we brought it back a little bit, but definitely felt as if Canada had a little bit more momentum going into second half than we did. So obviously we were looking to turn that around. And off the pitch here, we both just do single pitch back, and Xander's ball hit someone and popped up. A little bit unfortunate. They ended up calling... oh man, I guess my arrow keys aren't working. But they ended up calling Xander's ball dead because it bounced, but Xander was still out because he got hit anyway, so really nothing too crazy. I guess I will skip forward a little bit. So we're in a 5v6 right now. Not ideal, and I threw and missed on Grenier. So we have only 2 balls. They do a double on me. They both miss, and Shota counters. If I were them, I would have definitely probably thrown a ball back at Shota after he countered. And right here, Canada gives up 5. So we're down 2, but we do have 5 balls. We put a double on their right corner, get a big hit. Bring it down to a 5v4, and we maintain 3-ball defense. Big block by Dylan. Nice. See, there's going to be a lot that happens right here, and I'll back it up. But just from a learning standpoint, kind of look at who covers who, and also who we choose to throw at, as far as who we thought were priority targets in this sequence. So we hit Merg, and Jeff sees that Moody was on the floor, so he takes a shot at Moody. And instead of me throwing at DJ, I know that the bigger threat is Grenier. So even though DJ had a ball, I know that in my mind that I would rather have Grenier off the court than DJ. So I threw at DJ, or at Grenier instead of DJ. It was crazy, a crazy sequence that really went our way. We can watch it one more time, because it's insane how everything happened. We went from 5v4 to 3v1 in 5 seconds. So, and then another thing too, you'll see when Cody comes up to throw at Shota, I also run up to kind of distract him, because, you know, if I just let, and this was great patience by Shota here, but in this moment, when you see Cody coming up to throw at Shota, if I just stay in the back, Shota's dead, because all he has to think about is hitting Shota. But because I run up, he has to immediately think about both of us. And even if he hits one of us, now one of us is also there to pick up that ball that was rolling around. So I think that's why I did that. It might be like, why are you running up there with no ball? It's because I'm putting in his mind that, like, he's not just gonna have a free hit on Shota. Like, if he hits me, Shota's gonna pick up that ball and hit him. If he hits Shota, I'm gonna be there to pick up that ball. And in this moment, like, Cody is a super clutch player. Everyone knows, like, Cody goes for catches and he's really good at making them happen. So we have to do this right here where, you know, we don't even let him go to the back line. We rush him immediately, and in this moment, like, there was no doubt in my mind that he was going to go for that drop catch. So I put it, you know, on his shoulder where it would be nearly impossible to catch. And I was so hyping that because I was like, catch me, try to catch me. I was super happy. I was trying to get the vibes up, because that game right there tied it up, and you know, we went from down the whole time to now we're tied 3-3. We're in it. We got a lot of momentum. That was a huge match because, you know, we were down players, and we ended up swinging it in such a huge way. And another thing that I talked to a few Canadians about was the fact that how they changed their roster so much in games, which is obviously no other team does that. And I was trying to get their opinions on what they all thought about, you know, doing that. And some of them had positive things, and some of them had negative things. I personally don't know why you would need to change up that many, because every team's gonna have, you know, a pretty clear, you know, like top 6, 7, maybe 8 players. But who knows? I'm not there, so they end up clipping Shota on the jump. And even right here, like, this is just what's going through our minds. So we call Cedra on this throw. DJ's super far up, and that's what they have him do. And he does it very well. He draws a lot of attention, so that way we throw at him. And when Cedra threw that ball at him, I was like, dude, don't throw at him. That's what they want. Like, hit someone else. Hit Grenier, who's next to him. Because, like, that's what DJ wants, is us to throw at him. Oof. That was super risky. I don't think I realized that the first time we watched. Well, not the first time. I've watched this a lot of times, but I don't think I've ever realized that. Is that we go up and Isidro throws, but I think Xander sees that they're not paying attention. Yeah, he sees that they're not paying attention, and he threw the 5th, but luckily it bounced off his chest and came back, so it could have been really bad. That could have been a really bad decision, but it ended up working out. We got super fortunate there. And man, they are just going for Xander. It's interesting that they're not trying to pick off, you know, the middles. Oof. That block was crazy. That block was crazy. Oof. That was probably one of the best throws I had all tournament. I did notice that Merg does move to his right a lot when he dodges, so I threw it, you know, to his right. Oof. Jeff. I didn't see Jeff do that in the game, but after rewatching, I was like, "What the heck is Jeff doing?" But it's actually super dope. He was literally breaking when he went to go catch that ball. But yeah, I was feeling super confident, so I went for the throw at DJ and got the catch on Moody, and then DJ popped me right in the face, and I was out. But yeah, right now, honestly, like at this high of a level, like it really is all like confidence and all like just feeling and trusting your teammates. Like we really don't even communicate that much in these situations, especially when we're really feeling it. Like when everyone's really feeling it, like it's just flow state. Like the team just enters flow state, and people just make really good reads. Oof. Sick throw by Jeff. Just got over the blocker. Cody's in again, and it's like that instinct, that killer instinct of like he came up, and Xander caught a really good timing. Xander's dodgeball IQ is insane. Like he chose the perfect time to just he by himself crash on Cody there and put it through his blocker and off his chest. Like that's one of those things where you do that and you fail and you literally look like an idiot. But when it works out, you're like, holy crap, that was freaking sick. And honestly, it hyped everybody up so much. Especially because he just chested him from like 10 feet away. But that right there, that's just confidence. Is that were those things that we did? Shota throwing and then Xander running at him and hitting him when we only had 2 balls. Like were those the smartest decisions ever? No. Those are just straight up like I know I'm better than you and I'm going to go do this. Like that's really what it is. And I don't mean any disrespect. That's just like I know that's what they're feeling. And sometimes that's just how you have to play. Like you can know how teams play. We can have a strategy, but at the end of the day, like you might know how like a team plays, but you still have to deal with it. I think Canada called the timeout. They put Max in. Oh shoot, I remember this. Some sort of like not starting on the line. Let's skip a lot because that was a long break. They talked about that forever. But it ended up being just nothing. I don't know if it was a warning or not. Either way, it didn't matter. Nothing else happened off the rush like that the rest of the game. Ooh. And like even right here, like they know it's our burden. It's such an interesting thing why they would throw and give us 4 when it's our burden, and they could play 3-ball defense, because at this high of a level, once you give up that 3-ball, like it's very hard to get it back. Another huge block by Dylan. Good counter by Shota. And like that's where like at least if I was on that team, I would have wanted Wu to take that counter on Shota, because he's done that 3 times, 2 or 3 times just in this half. And you don't want that. You don't want a corner feeling comfortable taking counters on your teammates. Like you want to punish him, and even if you don't hit him, throwing at him puts in his mind that like, okay, they're gonna throw at me if I do this. So, it puts doubt in their mind. But like if you just never throw at a corner when they counter, like it's free real estate. Right here, they threw at me. They thought it hit me. Skipped my ball, and then the refs talk about it. They call me safe. Literally takes forever. The amount that was the most frustrating thing ever at this Worlds was definitely the amount of times games were stopped. And I totally get it, because as refs, you really want to make the right calls. But so it was that plus the insane heat, which was causing like literally everybody. And I don't even sweat. I'm not a sweater at all when I play. I was literally like everyone was drenched as if you jumped in a pool and like got out of the pool, and now we're playing. That's how because of the lack of air conditioning. So every time anyone slid, it was just pause, clean it, and it was brutal. But right there, I go up and hit Valance. and they come and throw at me, and oh my gosh, his name's blanking in my mind, but they just put him in this game. Their left corner, they just put him in. I don't know if he's been in, but he's been sitting for a while. So that's another one of the things where he comes in and his first throw's like, 15 feet over my head because he's not really warmed up. Oof. Right there that was a bad decision by Shota. And we went over and talked about it. But here, like, we only have 2 balls in hand, and he just goes up there, super aggressive play, and he gets punished. And you might be thinking like, oh, well, why didn't you go up there and help him? It's like, because number one, that's not communicated. Number two, we only have 2 balls in hand, so me and him going up there and doing that literally by ourselves is extremely risky. And if I go up there and help him and we both get hit, like, that's worst case scenario. I believe Max right there gets a really good hit on Dylan. Oof. Jeff's ball tails so much, has so much movement, which is really good. You really want to have good movement on your ball. Ooh, right there, Jeff getting a little frisky with the catches. He knows he should have moved there. We all know. Sometimes you just want to catch so bad. But this is one of the things where, like, they just put Max in the game and he's coming in and, like, he just hits 2 people and a third one in a row. Like, at Worlds, like, sometimes that's what you got to do. Like, you might be literally ice cold as far as your body and not warmed up. But you got to be able to come in and hit big shots. And Max did that really well. Now me and Xander in a 2v3. Oh, man. And this is where their left corner... God, I don't know. If you're wondering why, it's 2 a.m. right now, and I'm shooting this video because I can't sleep. I have a really bad sleeping problem. So names right now, I'm trying my best. But he did a really good job, their left corner, of, like, just keeping that pressure on me, and I threw a ball, like, straight into the dirt, which was really good. Really good by him. And right there, me throwing at him and him taking a counter onto Xander when they only have 2 balls in hand was super risky. Super risky. So I punished that decision. But then Xander threw our third ball, which gave up our 3-ball defense. And when we came back, I was like, man, you should have held that. But it's fine. Ooh, another big throw by Max. He's hit, like, in this game, he's hit like 4 people this game, I think. Xander in the 1-on-2. He played this so perfect. So right there, that decision to throw at Max was, I can't even describe how intelligent that decision was. Because you're probably thinking like, oh, well, if you throw across the court and expose your body to Moody, Moody's going to hit you. Well, no, because what is Moody thinking in his mind right now? Moody's thinking, okay, my teammate doesn't have a ball yet. I'm the only threat, so he's going to throw at me. So what does Moody do? He jumps because he completely sells out for the dodge, which is fine because, you would think that Xander would throw at him because he's the only one with a ball. But Xander making this super smart decision and also risky decision to throw at Max there. Caught Moody off guard. And, oof. Oh, that throw by Xander, like, was just perfect because what he did was put the ball on his right foot and not only timed his counter perfectly, but he didn't put a lot on it. You know why? Because he knows that he can't be out of position, and he needs to pick up that ball and reset to defend. So what he did was just throw a light ball. He probably threw that maybe 60%, because he knew he had to pick up his ball, and it still got Moody. And what probably happened was with Moody there is he probably went to block it, expecting it to be a full speed throw, and it was slow. So it just like he probably just misread the speed of the ball and blocked it up into himself. Oof, Xander with a big hit on Grenier. At this point, like, dude, we were feeling it. Like, we were firing on all cylinders. We hadn't dropped a game. We hadn't dropped a game this half, and oof, Max makes a huge catch on Xander there. And that was probably our fault. I don't know who called that. Maybe Xander called himself. Oof. That was literally probably the sickest catch of my entire dodgeball career. We'll watch it back. I'm talking a lot, which is what I'm supposed to do, I guess. But right here, when they catch Xander's ball and have 4, I was like 99.9% sure that they were gonna throw a double at me. So I knew that like I couldn't turtle. So I made some really good moves, moving laterally one way, laterally the other way. Took a counter on Kalen and missed, but honestly, that catch on Merg was just pure instinct. Nothing else really to it. Just a really good catch. And actually, that bruised my tailbone, like literally for a month. I literally like after this tournament, like I hadn't been able to sit without like massive pain in my butt for about a month. So I took damage from that catch, but that catch brought Xander back in. But even like that was an insane catch, but like it's still 6v5. It's not like we gained like a huge advantage from that. Oof, oof. See, like even in that situation, it's like I talked about earlier. Like there's a guy with the ball right in front of me. So what is everyone thinking? Like, oh yeah, I'm going to throw at the guy with the ball because if I don't, then he's going to have a faster counter on me than if I throw at somebody else. But it's just these super small mind games that you play in dodgeball that make such a huge difference in the game. But Grenier went for the defensive block thinking that I was going to throw at him, but instead I hit the guy next to him, and his counter was just a split second late, and I was able to get out of the way of it. And then Dylan comes up with just a freaking disgusting foot shot. And Dylan right here just literally standing 8 feet in front of them like a maniac. And they didn't hit him, which was crazy. And then Grenier gives up 5. He gets Xander out, but man, giving up 5 when you're down two players, it was 3 players, is huge. And we go up, throw double left, double right, get the hits, and we were all just losing our minds. Shota goes for a catch, literally on a ball, freaking way above his head. All right, here I'm stalking, and just rip it through the block. And man, I was freaking our whole team, we were absolutely feeling ourselves like at this point, which is scary. Like if it's scary when the team you're playing is like gotten to this point where everybody is just firing on all cylinders. Nobody's missing a beat. And oof, big hit from Xander off the rush there. And oh, bro, like this play from Shota was completely like decision that he made on his own that we did not communicate. But number one, if I was Kalen, I would literally be so freaking pissed. It's not even funny. Um, like Shota literally basically goes, "I'm gonna sacrifice myself to hit Kalen," which is huge because Kalen's one of their best players, and you know he's somebody we don't want to let get hot in the game, which is obviously something we've talked about. But Shota straight up just runs at him like a freaking maniac and just hits him. He doesn't even hit the guy that's even closer to him. He hits Kalen like just a direct airstrike, and like that was. I didn't remember that happening in the game, but I remember the first time I was watching this, I was like, dude, I would be so pissed if I was Kalen right there. I'd be like, what the heck are you doing? But I mean, it worked, and we got one of their better players off the field, off the court. And I think they sub Jeff Snow in this game. And this is all about like momentum. Is like in the beginning of the match we couldn't find our shots. Now like we have all the momentum. You know they can't find their shots as much as they were in the beginning. And they're also swapping out players constantly, so that has to play a big role. And Max gets another hit on Dylan and gives him the flex, and Dylan just points at the scoreboard. Oh my gosh. Oh man, I wish my arrow keys were working, but um Isidro's counter on Jeff Snow right here. Oh my lord, just straight to the freaking face. Just perfectly timed, perfectly placed counter. And that counter right there literally made them scared to come up again. Like look at them come up right here. They literally don't even come past the clear line, I don't think. Yeah, like they throw at the clear line. Like that counter literally sent shockwaves of fear. Right here, and me and Isidro just go wild, and we could not hit Cody to save our lives. I think what they're talking about here is I'm like 99.9% sure that Xander's ball clipped their right corner. I don't know if he didn't feel it or not, but I mean I've watched this multiple times, and I think you can see the ball like move direction off his. I think it clipped his towel. Um, but either way, I don't think the ref saw it, and he probably didn't feel it. Maybe it didn't hit him. I don't know. I remember in the game I thought it clipped his towel, but it is what it is. It's not. It's just part of dodgeball. 2v3, me and Isidro are in, and we're just thinking, waste time. I think we're up, 3 games right now. And man, that's huge. Like them having 4 balls and coming up and not being able to hit one of us there and allowing us to just waste more time was really big. Like who knows if they come. And honestly, if I were them, I'm gonna be completely honest. They're down this many games. I would have put 3 on somebody. That's what you have to do when you're down this many games and you're trying to end it quickly. You have to take massive risk. Oh, that throw was so close. Ooh. Oh. Like, a little bit fortunate there. Um, Bounces off Isidro. Did Isidro... Did he throw? I think he threw. Yeah. So Isidro counters, and their right corner... they throw another double at me and miss. But Isidro counters, and I catch it off of him. Then I rush Cody down because he didn't have a ball, and we're really close. So I pump faked him once and then got him out. And then that was people watching this are literally thinking to themselves right now, that was the luckiest thing ever. And I'm here to tell you, he literally does that like, dude, in our practices, he literally did that like freaking 15 times. Like he goes for that. Isidro goes for those catches. And he makes it happen literally all the time. So people were like, that was the dumbest, most BS catch like of the tournament, and it's not. Like, if you were at our practices, you would see that he does it literally all of the time. But thank you guys for watching. That's going to be it. There's one more game, but it doesn't matter. Both teams kind of goof around because it's just time is running down, and it's just obviously the game is too far apart for them to come back. If you like this type of content, let me know what else you would like me to react to. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys the next time I make a post.